Hey there, folks. True North here with a bit of a lighter video. Um, okay, I just watched the premiere episode of Phenomenon. It is like American Idol for magicians. Now, normally I don't really get too involved in shows like this, but magicians, they can be pretty cool, and they can also be full of bull. Now, the show itself is being judged by Criss Angel of Mindfreak. Very cool with the street magic, a lot of stage stuff, but someone who has never come out and claimed to be able to do magic, that he doesn't believe in baloney like ghosts and goblins and all that crap. And the spoonbender himself. Oh yes, Uri Geller. Uri Geller, who we thought was consigned to the 70s and 80s. But no, he's back, and he's here to, with Criss, help, well, in this case, America. I'm Canadian, so I guess I don't count. Pick the next phenomenon. Alright. Well, this premiere episode, they had a trio of celebrity guests, essentially glorified volunteers for the magicians to draw upon. Well, not just magicians, mentalism, things like that. They had Carmen Electra, ooh, Rachel Hunter, oh, another one, and Ross Matthews. And I honestly aren't not too sure why they went with that choice. Whatever. But I'll go into Ross a bit when I talk about one of the contestants. Okay, first guy, a man named Ehud. He's a mediocre mentalist. He claimed he had some psychic powers due to his brother's death. He did a trick known as the PK touch. He had Carmen Electra close her eyes and then started talking about how he was touching her, and well, she supposedly felt him touching, and then afterwards said, well, no, I'm not really sure. It was a very mediocre act. I've seen better. And well, really what I wanted to get to is at the end of his act, he was, of course, judged by the two judges. And Criss Angel sat there staring intently, and they showed him. That's what it looked like. He did not look impressed, and he started off by saying, look, I'm going to be brutally honest here. Just try not to take it the wrong way. And he told him he wasn't impressed, but he wanted the guy to work on things and come back next week, see how things go. Uri believed it was real. But then again, what do you expect of a guy who claims that his weakened spoon trick was real all this time? Okay. Jim Carroll, our next runner-up, known as the Psychic Madman. He once guessed the right lottery numbers. You know that, of course, no one else has ever guessed the right lottery numbers, except for every single lottery winner. His trick involved the fact that he was a man who didn't feel pain. Pulls out a small trap, like the bear traps they show in cartoons and all that. Except this one didn't have the huge teeth. He was kind of disturbing. This is where Ross comes in. Now, anyone who knows Ross Matthews from The Tonight Show knows that he is a bit flamboyant. And Jim played on that. The thing is, Ross was more exciting to watch than Jim. Ross started manhandling, or Jim started manhandling Ross, trying to get him to put his hand inside this trap. And he's dragging him around. Now, if you're gonna pull the I'm not gonna do this dangerous trick on you, I'm gonna do it myself routine, you don't do it by manhandling your volunteers. I'm no magician, but I was kind of disappointed in him. Okay, so at the same time as he's manhandling Ross, he's got Rachel Hunter off writing the name of some random celebrity and on this whiteboard facing away from him and Ross. So I guess he could only see Rachel's face and Rachel's incredibly reflective safety goggles. I hope that you put two and two together there. It wasn't a stretch when he guessed, of course, that the name of the celebrity was Jeff Goldblum. So that was kind of a fizzle, and then he put his hand in the trap. And from where I was looking at it, it didn't look like he wasn't feeling pain. It just looked like someone who got used to biting his tongue. The next act, Aaron Raven. That one's cool. Russian roulette with 6 nail guns. One of them was loaded. And he had this nice randomization effect. And he supposedly picked out the right nail gun based on the tone of voice of Carmen Electra. Now, I'm not sure what his real trick was, but he was impressive. He had... I hate to say this, because, well, people say, hey, you're gay, but he was a good-looking guy. Really nice trim beard. I know, not mine, like mine, but really nice-looking guy. See, look at that. That's a nice-looking guy. And he had a great stage persona. I think this guy's got what it takes. I'd love to see what he does next. And, the results. Oh, I forgot. About the psychic madman. Yuri, of course, believed him. And Chris pointed out that Ross is funnier. But anyways, Raven. Yuri was afraid, believed he's taking a major risk, and Chris was impressed. Okay, last guy, Jerry McCambridge, states that he's the mentalist. He pulled not a rabbit out of his hat. It was a supposedly randomly selected phone number from one of 4 phone books, and they had to drop 2 numbers. And so, of course, he had everyone holding up these little placards, and he figured out who had what number. I mean, it was okay mentalist trick, but his performance just could have been better. I mean, he looks like a used car salesman. This is the only guy that Uri Geller poo-pooed. But Chris said, well, you can raise the bar. Anyways, Halloween's coming up. I'm going to watch the next show. depending on how many kids I've got to give candy to. Let's see how it happens. True North out for now.